Hello and welcome to today's NinjaTrader ecosystem event, Top 5 Automated Setups for Day Traders, Easy and Effective. My name is Thomas and I'm a platform representative here at NinjaTrader. Now, before we start the webinar today, I have a few housekeeping notes. Now, this webinar is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is a technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed to the NinjaTrader brokerage team using the phone number or email on the screen. I'll also be posting that in the chat. And if you are new to NinjaTrader, please make sure you sign up for a free NinjaTrader account, which includes access to 14 days of complimentary real-time market data. Our platform is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. You can get your free account by clicking the following link on the screen, then clicking Get Started under the Welcome section. And before I turn over the mic to Steve, it's important to understand that futures, foreign currency, and options trading contain substantial risk and is not suitable for every investor. It is possible to lose more than one's initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. And please remember that these trading solicitations are not solicitation or recommendation, but simply educational in nature. Now, thank you again for joining us today. And without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader room, Steve. Take it away, Steve.
All right. Thanks, Thomas. Appreciate the opportunity to present in the NinjaTrader room. Welcome, everyone. See a lot of people logging in. Some people are NaviTrader members, and a lot of people are people that are new to what we're doing here at NaviTrader. Let me just mention too, we're going to have 7 free gifts for all attendees. All you have to do is send an email to support@navitrader.com. We'll make sure you get all those free gifts. They are trading tools that we'll think will help you to enhance your trading career. So just send an email to support@navitrader.com to get those free gifts. All right, so some key points for today. We're going to talk a little bit about positive expectancy, how to plan for positive expectancy, and that will kind of emphasize the importance of letting your winners run. We know with trading, you're going to have some small losses. You need to offset those with some larger gains. So the math of trading is actually fairly simple. Small gains and large gains and small losses will usually add up to success. If you do the opposite, of course, you won't. We're going to talk a little bit about risk management, when to stay out of the market, when to be in the market, how to limit your emotions. One of the key points for today, we're going to talk about five of the key trade setups that we identify here at NaviTrader with our charts and indicators. The more that you can do with your trading to automate things, the better. It takes the guesswork and the automation out of what you're doing. All right, so essentially what we've done here at NaviTrader is built an algorithmic system into our charts that will show you market direction, trade setups, and trade management. Now, the market direction is actually built into each price bar. Our price bars are a proprietary bar. They're called Navi bars. We'll show you those in just a few minutes. All right, so in terms of your evolution as a trader and using what we have here at NaviTrader, number one, you have to learn to trust the signals. You have to have the discipline to execute the trades with the signals, and the discipline to manage your risk. All right, so risk management is one of those things that's kind of a key component of all traders that are long-term successful traders. We'll talk more about risk management here in a few minutes. So essentially with trading, the probability favors the continuation of a trend. So that's why we've built the trend right into our charts, and I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes. Now, let me just mention too, what you're going to see today are a number of different trade setups, and please listen to the end, because I'm going to show you what I would consider my main go-to trade setup. But I'm going to show you 5 different automated setups. Again, at the end, we'll highlight what I would consider the go-to trade. All right, so We'll talk a little bit about positive expectancy. The formula for expectancy is on the screen. This will be recorded. So if you would like a recording of this after the fact, just let us know. Just send an email to support@NaviTrader.com. We'll make sure you get that recording. I think it will also be out on YouTube within a matter of a day or so as well. So you can access it several different ways. But essentially, you can see the formula on the screen. Your percentage of winning trades times the average win size will give you a number. The percentage of losing trades times the average loss side will give you another number. So you subtract the second number from the first. If you get a positive value, that means you've got a positive expectancy. Now, the reason that this is important is it kind of brings out the importance of letting your winners run and cutting your losses very quickly. So there's of course, some key ways that you can cut losses quickly. They're called stop losses. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. All right, so in terms of the, we're going to talk about 5 different automated setups here today. 5 different automated setups. So the first one we're going to talk about is when we have 2 different correlated markets. The NASDAQ and the E-mini are extremely correlated. So on top, I've got volume charts of the NASDAQ and the E-mini. You can see I have magenta arrows on those screens. Those magenta arrows are indicating a sell signal. And on the bottom 2 screens, I've got my Navi Renko charts, the NASDAQ and the E-mini Renko chart. You can see I'm getting sell signals on all 4 charts. Magenta arrows are the sell signals. Okay, so I've got 2 different correlated markets. I've got 2 different chart types, volume and Renko. Now, let me just mention too, the Renko charts are our own Navi Renko bars. They are our own proprietary price bars. So you won't see those charts anywhere else. All right, so the next setup we're going to talk about is where we get the volume and Renko charts giving you the sell signal. Here's just the NASDAQ. So the number 1 setup, the difference was we've got correlated signals among the E-mini and the NASDAQ. Here we've got just the NASDAQ giving us the same signal on both the volume and the Renko chart. All right, so now here's trade setup number 3. And this is 2 different volume charts for correlated markets. Again, the NASDAQ and the E-mini are very correlated. Let me just mention something too in terms of trading in general. My recommendation is try to get good at trading 1 or 2 things before you start trading too many different things. I've worked with hundreds of traders, really literally all over the world. And oftentimes I hear from people that they say, I want to trade gold, I want to trade crude oil, I want to trade the E-mini and NASDAQ, and about 5 other things. What I'd recommend is, especially when you're first getting started, just get good at 1 or 2 things. Okay, so the E-mini and NASDAQ are usually a good place to start. All right, so these are correlated markets giving you the same signal here on both volume charts. Here's another example of the same thing, NASDAQ and E-mini, both correlated sell signals. All right, so we're running in the NinjaTrader platform, and we do run exclusively with NinjaTrader. And if you've already got NinjaTrader, that's great. If you don't, I would personally recommend NinjaTrader is, to me, the premier trading platform for futures trading in any futures market. So very good trading platform. NinjaTrader has really evolved a lot over the years, as have we here at NaviTrader. Here at NaviTrader, what I'm going to show you today is really the product of about 20 years of evolution, not only in terms of the charts and indicators, but also in the way that we use them and the way that we trade with them. All right, so here is setup number 4. Setup number 4 is a break above or below consolidation bar. Now, the charts that you see on the screen right now, you'll see the bars with the gold frame on the chart. Those bars are unique to our charts. They're called consolidation bars. And one of the trade setups I like to look for is a consolidation break above or below these. These happen to be Renko bars, but you could use other chart types. We do support any chart type that's supported by the NinjaTrader platform. So this happens to be a Renko chart. You can see the bars with the gold frame are the bars that are consolidation bars. Now, typically, we break above or below these consolidation bars with the E-mini. Generally, we'll get a move of 10 or more points. So anytime, personally, when you can have a trade setup, it's going to result in a fairly common move of 10 or more points, then to me, that's pretty phenomenal. All right, so on the left part of the screen, you can see that we had the consolidation bar. All right, so left part of the screen is the consolidation bar. Again, that's the bar with the gold frame. We broke below that consolidation bar. We moved down about 20 points. Then the market consolidated again. You can see the next bar with the gold frame. It has a red circle around it. We broke above that bar for a 10-point move up. Then the next bar with the red circle around the gold frame bar is again, another consolidation bar. Broke above that bar for another move up. All right, so a 20-point move down here, 10-point move up, and another 10-point move up. Again, this is a consolidation break. All right, so let me show you a way that you can use so you can apply the NinjaTrader platform to what we're talking about here. We're going to use an OCO order that stands for one cancels the other. Essentially, what we're doing is we're putting a buy stop above the current consolidation, and we're going to put a sell stop order below the consolidation, and we're going to let the market take us into the trade. Now, when you get into the trade, or when you set up these orders, you will use an ATM strategy along with them. So when you get into the trade, you'll automatically have a stop and a profit target in place. So here the market took us into a short trade, and the market's moving down. Now, one of the nice things that you can do with the NinjaTrader platform is you can attach an order to an indicator. Now, the indicator we're going to attach to is called the NaviPM indicator. It's one of our NaviTrader indicators. So what we're doing is attaching that buy stop order, which is your trailing stop in a short position. So buy stop order is a trailing stop in a short position. So the market's moving down. You can see right now, you're getting a consolidation bar. That's the bar with the gold frame. And if the market continues to go down, it's going to adjust the stop downward automatically. Now, the nice thing about this, it takes the emotion out of your trade management. How many people maybe get into trades and maybe take a point or two, or maybe even less than that on a trade, and try to grab for the profits very quickly? All right, so earlier, okay, here we have that trailing stop that's moved down. We're consolidating again. You can see we broke. We're consolidating again. We'll see if we break below consolidation. If we do, the trailing stop will be adjusted downward. So the trailing stop, you can see, is that red line, 4,002, 39.99 in the quarter. 39.95.75 is a trailing stop right now. And that's where we came out of the trade. So that was using an OCO order in the NinjaTrader platform, just to take advantage of these breakout situations. These happen very frequently. All right, so here we're going to put in another OCO order. Again, with the OCO orders, you can do this with the chart trader interface. Just select an ATM strategy. Put your buy or sell stop order in first. Here we're putting the buy stop order in first. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll reselect an ATM strategy. Now that's very important. You need to reselect an ATM strategy for each one of these orders. So here we're going to put in a sell stop order. And again, we're going to let the market take us into the trade. And once we're into the trade, then we can adjust the stops and targets however we want to. All right, so here it broke higher. And you can see the red line is our trailing stop. And the green line is your profit target. Okay, so we can move that trailing stop upward manually, or we can attach it to this green line. Now in this example, I didn't attach the trailing stop order, but we could attach that trailing stop to the green line, which you'd be up above break even right now. And then we've got a target at 40.8250. And again, this is an upside breakout just using an OCO order. So we came up, hit that target. All right, so that's this is trade setup number 5. This is, I'll call a line break strategy. Here we've attached a buy stop order to that red line, which is the NaviPM indicator. These lines above and below the price bars are a NaviPM indicator. So typically, if we come back up through that red line, we're going to see a move back to the upside. So right now you can see the trailing stop actually got moved downward. But if we come back up and hit that buy stop order, it'll put us into a long position. Okay, so a line break type strategy. All right, so once we're into that trade, we hit that line and came up and took a long position. And right now you can see the market's just consolidating. Remember what I said about the gold frame bars, and then it moved up and hit our target. So let's trade the line break strategy, setup number 5. So I wanted to show you a number of automated things you can do here. All right, so another thing we do here at NaviTrader is we have our market analyzer. We call it the Trade Finder. And on the Trade Finder, we've got a number of different technical indicators. And when those indicators are red, that means a likely down move in the market. If all the indicators are green, means likely up move in the market. So this the market analyzer, we call it the Trade Finder, is especially beneficial, especially if you're monitoring a number of different markets. Okay, so if you want to monitor many different markets, this is like the system monitoring the markets for you, monitoring the charts for you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the benefits of futures trading. With futures trading, you do have the ability to make a profit potentially, no matter which direction the market is going, of course, providing you're on the right side of the trade. And of course, that's the whole key to the benefit plan. All right, so you don't have to take any overnight risk, providing you're not holding positions overnight. Let me just mention to a question I get a lot is, do I hold positions overnight? No, I don't. All right, so I think the last few days has been a good example of how you want to be able to take advantage of these up and down markets. Last couple of days with this credit rating change in the US, it drove the markets quite a bit lower yesterday and again, somewhat today. All right, so also you have the ability to leverage your capital. Of course, with any leverage that does bring with it increased risk. And that's something we'll talk about here in a little while, is how to take on less risk as you're trading the futures. Futures, you don't have the pattern day trading rule that you have in the stock market. And of course, trading futures you can do from any location. All right, so what we're doing here with futures trading, we're taking simple directional trades. And of course, we need to know which way the market's going in real time. And that's what I want to show you here right now with our chart examples, which we'll get to in just a few minutes. All right, so in my past experience, I've actually done quite a bit of troubleshooting of large computer networks. And I look at trading the same way. if you're having any problems with trading, it's important to troubleshoot the problems. In other words, get rid of all the problems and you're probably going to have more success. Okay, so first thing I would recommend is don't be over leveraged. Even people that have been trading, I've been trading for well over 20 years, investing for a lot longer than that. People have been trading for even much longer than that will tell you the same thing. Don't be over leveraged. Don't take on too much risk. All right, so one of the things you can do to help that is use the micro futures, the MES or the MNQ, or for the E-mini and NASDAQ. There are micro contracts for other things such as crude oil and some of the currency futures as well. All right, so trade the micro futures. My recommendation is start with the micro futures. In fact, just start with one contract of the MES or MNQ and get consistent. To me, goal one with trading is get profitable, get consistently profitable. All right, so if you can get consistently profitable even with one contract, then you can scale that to more contracts. Now with the E-mini, the micro futures, I think you're going to find them easier to trade from a psychological standpoint too. You're not going to be as nervous about your trade. If you are currently nervous about your trade or you're hesitant to take trades, it usually means that you're way over leveraged in your trading. Okay, so way over leveraged. So if you sense that in your trading that you're not confident about going into trades or you're nervous about the trade, it means you're usually taking on way too much risk. So a good way to eliminate a lot of risk is to trade the micro futures. Again, what your first goal is to get consistently profitable. All right, so problem two that people have with trading is they don't have any kind of system. Okay, so that's what we're going to show you here today. You want to have a systematic way of taking entries and exits into your trade. You need to have a tool that's going to give you the confidence to stay in the trade for the bigger move. Okay, so you need to have that confidence to stay in the trade. Remember what we said about positive expectancy. All right, so you want to have trades that big winners and small losers. So basically with any one trade, there's three objectives you want: large gain, small gain, or small loss. Okay, so that's the three outcomes you're looking for. All right, so remember what we said about taking systematic entries. Okay, here's a move up on the NASDAQ. The green line underneath the price bars is the NaviPM indicator line, and that can be used as a trailing stop. Let me just mention too that indicator line is adjustable. So if you're trading for whatever market you're trading, you can adjust that NaviPM indicator so it's going to trail the price and keep you in the trade for a bigger move. All right, so here's a E-mini chart. First move up was a 16-point move, second one 19-point move. All right, there's an example too where we did break above consolidation in both cases. So that's one thing I mentioned earlier. All right, so as I said before, important to let your winners run. Here's a couple of trades on the NASDAQ, a move up and a move back down. All right, so the point here is make quality decisions. In other words, make trading decisions for a reason, for a good logical reason, not an emotional reason. All right, so here's an E-mini on the volume chart. Here's an example of what we talked about earlier, two different correlated markets giving you same signal, E-mini and NASDAQ. All right, so the reason we do that, the correlated charts too, is it's improving your odds of success in your trade. By the way, if there are any questions, we will be getting to those in just a few minutes. So again, what we're doing here is automating the setups, the buy and sell signals. Okay, problem number 3 is not following the system. Okay, so even the best system, if you don't follow it, is not going to help you. So you need to, number one, have a good system, but of course, follow the system by making objective decisions. And here's an example with the NASDAQ volume chart where we had a buy signal. Stay in the trade as long as that green line underneath the price bars is still green. Here's a trade on the NASDAQ. Okay, problem number 4, cutting winners quickly. Now, if you're cutting winners quickly, I would tell you that's likely because it kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier. You're probably over leveraged. If you have, if you are cutting your winners very quickly, it means that you have a tiny profit and you can't wait to grab that profit. But unfortunately, a lot of traders will grab their profits very quickly, but unfortunately will let the losers run. Now that does not work. So that's something you need to avoid. Now, one of the best ways to cut your losses quickly is to use stops. All right, so use stops. All right, so our charts work well on any market. Here's a chart on the 6E. This is the Euro futures. Here's a chart on the NASDAQ. Chart on the British pound. So we've got a lot of people trading currency markets. You can trade either the futures, currency futures, or currency spot market. All right, so problem 5, letting your losing trades run. That's something I mentioned before. You need to use stops. All right, so nobody likes getting stopped out, but when you get stopped out, it only hurts a little bit. If you let a trade run against you and emotionally hope that the trade will come back in your favor, then it's going to hurt a lot more. So just take the small loss and move on. All right, so problem 6 is eliminating mistakes. We're going to kind of run through this fairly quickly. I'm a pilot, and of course, the reason pilots use a checklist is they want to prevent problems. Big problem with flying could be an accident, which could cost you your life. So same thing applies in trading. You don't want to kill your account. You don't want to burn up your account. So use a checklist. Okay, so I'm going to run through some fairly quick checklists. Again, this will be recorded, so you can refer to this later on in the recording. Number 1 thing I do every day is check pending news. So this morning we had the unemployment claims report at 8:30. So tomorrow morning is actually one of the big market movers for the week, or for the month, I should say. That's the employment report. So first Friday of every month, usually a big market mover. Number 2 thing I look for is, do I have conditions for entry? Do I have a signal to get into a trade? Number 3, am I trading the correct instrument? So if I'm intending to trade the, let's say the E-mini, but I'm on the NASDAQ chart, then you need to make sure that you're trading the correct instrument. Stop and target strategy selected, which in NinjaTrader terms is the ATM strategy. Number 5, am I selecting the correct account? Maybe you're trading in a number of different accounts, so make sure you've selected the correct account. Number 6, is my position sizing correct? Okay. Position sizing, like I said, has a lot to do, or everything, I should say, everything to do with being either over leveraged or leveraged correctly. So one of the rules I follow is, if I'm over leveraged, just assume that's a trade that will not work. Okay, so anytime, I don't know how the market figures it out, but anytime you're over leveraged, that's usually the trade that will go against you. Okay, so best practices during the trade, manage the trade. Basically manage if you're using trailing stops, exit at targets, close the position at a trailing stop, monitor your daily profit and loss. Okay, very important. Reality in trading is there are some days in trading, just reality, that are better than others. So some days are going to be phenomenally great, others may not be as great. Okay, so on those days that are not as great, if you have a tiny loss, just move on, come back the next day, and have your account ready to trade. Okay, so after trading, update your daily log. Now, it's very important to analyze what happened during the day. Now, every person who's trying to improve, hopefully all of you, you want to analyze what happened that day. What could I have done better? Okay, so I've been trading for a long time, and I would say that you learn new things all the time. So you'll never really stop learning about trading. So just take those lessons and take advantage of them, and then use that information the next day. Okay, so with the NinjaTrader platform, of course, make sure you've canceled any open orders or exited any positions that you're not aware of. Set your system to global simulation mode. NinjaTrader, if you click on tools, you can put a check mark next to global simulation mode and make sure that it's not going to execute any trades. Again, monitor your daily profit and loss and note any lessons for the day. All right, so again, you can use these charts on any market. Here's a chart on crude oil. Here's a chart on the Dow. Here's a chart on gold. All right, so I'm just going to kind of run through what we provide here at NaviTrader. And let me just say this. We don't want to just provide a number of indicators. Trading is a lot more than just a bunch of indicators. Now, our indicators are very good, but we sincerely want everyone to be successful. For that reason, we provide training. Okay, so I'll kind of cover that in a few minutes. All right, so this the top of this screen, you can see is actually one of our trend indicator charts. The bottom of this screen is a kind of a traditional chart that you'll oftentimes see. So one thing I like about our charts is they take the mystery out of technical analysis. The charts are actually doing technical analysis for you. So let me just run through quickly. We've got 8 different indicators that we provide as part of our package, part of our membership. And let me just mention, we provide these on a multi-year subscription. Okay, so the first indicator in the upper left is we call the automator. That's the system that puts the actual buy and sell signals on the screen for you automatically. Okay, so the next one is a Navi bars. Each one of our price bars is our own proprietary indicator. So the Navi bars are an indicator. The Navi PM is the trailing stop. That's the red line that will be above the red bars or the green line below the green bars. Lower right is the Navi ATR stop. Again, that can be used as a trailing stop as well. Upper left here, we've got the velocity channel. That will show you that markets tend to trade within these channels, and that this works in really any time frame, even down to a 20-second chart. Okay, so the velocity channels. Upper right, we've got the Big Mo indicator. You can see the green dots. The green dots will indicate current momentum on the short-term charts. Lower left is the high-low indicator. It's our own proprietary oscillator. And the lower right is the Navi relative ATR, which will show you points where the market is ready for a breakout. Remember what we talked about earlier for those breakout trades. All right, so I mentioned earlier at the end of the webinar, toward the end of the webinar, I was going to reveal to you what I would consider my very favorite trade setup, and that was the consolidation breakout. We break above or below consolidation bars. Okay, so above or below consolidation bars. All right, so another tool that we provide again is the Trade Finder. Again, it's very helpful, especially if you're monitoring multiple markets. All right, so for today, for everyone in attendance, we've got a special. I'll kind of cover that with you. You'll get 2 years of our trend indicators. Now, the trend indicators are the 8 different market indicators that I just went through. We call them the trend indicators. So you get 2 years of our automator setups. You'll also get one-on-one personal mentoring and setup. Now, when you first become a NaviTrader member, I'll actually set up an appointment with you and do this personal session along with setting up your entire chart workspace the same way that I trade with it every day. Also, we have our membership or member website that has over 40 hours of free training. Okay, so 40 hours of training. We'll also do the setup, the workspace setup on up to 2 of your own personal computers. And we also provide unlimited support. So unlimited support. All right, so like I said, we do have the member videos. It's over 40 hours of on-demand member videos. We also include time in our live training, market training sessions. Now I do these sessions Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 to 11 Eastern. And the first 20 signups will have access to that room. Okay, so you get access to our live training room for the first 20 signups. Again, that's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 to 11. Our pricing that we provided actually comes out to less than about a cup of coffee per day. All right, so the bonuses we're offering today is 2 years of the Trade Finder. Normally you'll get 1 year. You'll get five months in our member room. That's our live market training room. And you're going to get a 50% special for the first 20 members, making it $24.77. Also, we will have a live session tomorrow morning, Friday, August 4th, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. So please join us for that live market session. You can send an email to support@navitrader.com. support@navitrader.com. Also, if you do send that email to support@navitrader.com, we'll make sure that you get the 7 free trading gifts. All right, so I'll go ahead and monitor for any questions for the next few minutes. See quite a few questions in the room. Let's see if we can get to those. All right, so I'm just kind of scrolling up through the questions. See a question, what time frame are the bars? Well, we use different price bars. Now the Renko bars are a range type of chart. So they're not time-based, they are range-based. In other words, the market has to move so much price-wise for each bar. However, we can use our charts on any chart type that's supported by the NinjaTrader platform. Okay, so I see a question, ticks move, can you set them to only print a new bar after X amount of movement? Yes, yeah, if you're using a tick chart, you can do that. All right, so just scrolling through any more questions here. Also, let me just mention too, if anyone has questions after the webinar that we're not getting to, just send an email to support@navitrader.com. All right, so I did mention on the consolidation break trade, typically we'll get 10 or more points. Now, if you come to our live session tomorrow morning, we can show you that in real time. I see a question, are we showing 5-minute bars? No, I haven't shown any 5-minute bars here today. Like I said, if you come to our live session, I can bring up 5-minute charts if you'd like to see that. I see a question. We're showing volume bars, what size? We use different volume levels for the E-mini and NASDAQ. Okay, so that's something that if you come to our live session tomorrow, I'll be sure and show you that. Just kind of reviewing questions here. See a question, does NinjaTrader offer any AI trading bots? That I don't know about. Okay, so I don't know. Oh, I see a question. After the 2 years of our special, you can actually, what we do is if people sign up for this special, after the 2 years, you can renew at that special price. All right, so I want to thank Vern from Virginia. Thanks for your comments, Vern. One of our NaviTrader members. He's been a member for, I think, almost 2 years now. Okay. All right, so we're kind of running out of time here. I see a question, can we use uni-wrinkle bars? You could, yes. You can use uni-wrinkle bars if you want to. However, I don't really recommend it. So like I said, we will have a live session tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. So 10 a.m. Eastern. So we do need to, we do need to end the webinar. So again, I want to thank everyone. Again, just send an email to support@navitrader.com. We'll make sure you get these 7 free gifts and also invited to any live sessions. We'll have one tomorrow morning. Yeah, I see a question about the 16 Renko chart. 16 Renko it's not a range chart. Okay, so range chart is different than a Renko chart. All right, so with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Thomas. I want to thank NinjaTrader for providing the opportunity to do this webinar here today. And if anyone would like to speak to me personally, feel free to give us a call here at NaviTrader. I'd be glad to answer any questions or concerns you might have. Everyone have a wonderful day, and hopefully we'll see you in the future.
All right. Well, thanks again to Steve for taking the time to share with us today. If you enjoyed today's session, we hope you will join us in future webinars. Follow us on social media for alerts about upcoming events and other NinjaTrader ecosystem news. We would like to remind you that the information provided was that of NaviTrader and not of NinjaTrader. All information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you in future webinars. Happy trading from all of us here at the NinjaTrader ecosystem.